Trinity. Well, for the last several weeks, there has been a pretty obvious, well, I don't know about obvious, but there's been a logical theme for every week. We were going through Advent for 4 weeks. I took a break. I looked back at songs from 2020, looked back at our Psalms series from last summer. I was thinking about what would be fruitful this week. I think this week we should read through Romans 12. When I think of Romans 12, it's one of those passages, I don't know if you have these chapters in the Bible, I think of it as one of my chapters. Not like it belongs to me, but like it's dear to me. I remember when I was in junior high, one of our junior high leaders, Brian Key, said that if we memorized Romans 12, he would take us, I think it was to his cabin for the weekend, which was pretty fun, except when we got in trouble for keeping the fire going all night. Apparently, we were supposed to let it go out. But it's always been dear to me. And somebody pointed out to me in an article last week that this is a pretty timely chapter for us in a time of turmoil, strife, tension in our country, and the church in the middle of all this trying to go, how can we make sure that above everything else we are faithful to Christ? Romans 12 is pretty helpful because it's a chapter about how to live in light of the gospel, how to take everything we learn in Romans about these great doctrines, these great truths of salvation, and then turn it into daily life. And there is timely and insightful and incisive, I should say, insightful and incisive wisdom here for us. Things like rejoice in hope, be patient in tribulation, be constant in prayer. Things like do not be overcome by evil, but overcome evil with good. We'll get there Wednesday and Friday, I think. But I'm going to start today with Romans 12, 1 through 2, which says, I appeal to you, therefore, brothers, by the mercies of God, to present your bodies as a living sacrifice, holy and acceptable to God, which is your spiritual worship. Do not be conformed to this world, but be transformed by the renewal of your mind, that by testing you may discern what is the will of God, what is good and acceptable and perfect. It's a helpful but also challenging call to not be conformed to this world. The more you read, the more you see how easy it is to be conformed by this world, to be conformed to think like social media, the more we use social media, to be conformed to think like the people in power over us are the people that get the most airtime if we spend our time listening to them. It's easy to be conformed to the world, and it really is a challenge to hear Romans 12:2 that says, don't be conformed to the world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. But it is promising and exciting to know that our minds can be renewed, because when they are renewed, that's when we will be able to discern the will of God, it says. What is good, what is acceptable, what is perfect.